So, Michael just arrived from Cannes.
Right.
He was on a mission to Moon. So that's quite exciting. He's the new competitor to Elon Musk.
Oh, come on.
We spontaneously decided, because he's working remote from our office today, that we involve him in the AMA. How would you define digital transformation?
Wow.
Whoa. I define it as one of the bigger shifts, and so fundamental, like the electrification back then, because everything today is electrified and we don't think about it anymore. And I believe in the future everything will be digital, or anything digital involved, and this includes AI and all these tools.
I would say the problem with this phrase digital transformation is that it sounds that you can finish it. The speed of innovation companies need nowadays is so high, and there will be no transformation, as I use the word in my language, to reach a point where it's like, well, I'm transformed.
Yeah, right. What are your travel hacks? I'm quite organized in most of the things. I try to have everything in my hand luggage. I never leave the house without a battery pack. I'm very good in planning the days ahead. So I make sure whenever I land, I have all the stuff, and Tessa is helping me with that.
My major travel hack is always to have at least one good book in my luggage, because I believe travel time is the time where you really could reduce your email and all this other stuff. Especially when I'm on a train or in a plane, I try to read, I try to inspire myself. So I use travel time to get inspiration.
Hi Christoph, you talk a lot about the morning and that you get up pretty early, but at which time do you go to bed before? So, I made a video about the sleep cycles, and I try to sleep minimum 6 hours. Better 7.5, so this 90-minute sleep cycle. So 10 is usually my latest I try to be at bed. I don't do that when I'm like at an event or anything, like I don't go to my room and be not social, but I try to be in bed by latest 10.
I have a summer cycle and a winter cycle. My summer cycle is 6 hours. My winter cycle is 7.5 hours. I found out that I need less sleep when the sun comes out, so in spring. So I go to bed at 11 and wake up at 5 in the morning.
Oh, what helps shift resistant staff members embrace the change that needs to happen for their company? Ooh, that's a tough one. That depends on the change that is needed. And that's also a question of perspective. I mean, if you're the one deciding on the change and you're the decision maker, and the person, let's say the values collide, and they see it differently because of their values, not on like for no other reason, I would say that's so fundamental that you have to go separate ways. But I believe that when it's change that is needed and everyone sees that it could be needed, but there are some people who don't see it, I would start with communicating as much as possible. I believe these days you cannot over-communicate.
I think you should, because it's good to have people in a change process that say, no, I don't want to change, because, and they do it openly. Right. Because you then see at one person what maybe dozens of other persons do feel and don't tell you. So I would try to get much more in contact with these type of persons, try to give them a role in the change process.
By the way, when's the book on new work coming out in English? I shared, I have to say, last AMA I shared that we're reworking the book right now, and I shared the new date of January that we were planning on, but we're now reshaping it again, and like this is our meeting about today, so we have some work to do. But when in English?
But we will find. We have to find out later. But I think it's a good idea to do so, to invest.
We should. We should. That's some investment. You have time to translate it? Thanks again for the questions, and Thank you for giving your insights and joining the AMA. And if you have more questions, also if they're for Michael, let us know.
I'll be back.
And then we invite him back for the AMA. See you guys next week.